What up, y'all? I'm back with another one. I'm here to talk about another classic. Prince released his ninth album, Sign o' the Times, of March 31st, 1987. Happy 39 years to this classic right here. This is one of my favorites right here. You got the title track, you got Play in the Sunshine, Housequake, Hot Thang, Slow Love, Starfish and Coffee, The Ballad of Dorothy Parker, Play in the Sunshine, You Got the Look, Forever in My Life, If I Was Your Girlfriend, Strange Relationship, I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man, The Cross, Adore, and It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night. All classics. He did do some reissues of this album because there's some unreleased songs from the vault I would love to get a hold of on the vinyl and the CD. This is definitely a reissue. It's one of the reissues, but I would like to get the other reissues that has his unreleased stuff. And this is from Target. I got it at Target, and it's got the excuse me, the whirl kind of a white swirl kind of feel. You'll look. I'll show y'all the vinyl. But let's get into detail. So it was the first release of March 31st of '87 as a double album by Paisley Park Records and Warner Brother Records. And the album is the follow-up to Parade and is Prince's first solo album following his disbanding of the Revolution. And the album songs were largely recorded during 1986 through '87, and the sessions for releases Prince's ultimately aborted Dream Factory, the pseudonymous Camille, and finally the triple album Crystal Ball. Prince eventually compromised with label executive and shortened the length of the release up to a double album. And the album is a drastic departure from Prince's previous works, taking inspiration from social issues and spiritually an R&B album that takes influence from avant pop and hip hop, which was emerging in mainstream music. Many of the drum sounds on the album came from the Lin LM1 drum machine, and Prince used the Fairlight CMI synthesizer to replace the other instruments. And four songs contain higher pitch vocals to represent Prince's alter ego, Camille, and the album's music touches on funk, soul, psychedelic pop, electro, and rock. Electro and rock. So, despite being Prince's fifth album in 5 years, Sign of the Times reached the top 10 of the Billboard 200 and spawned three top 10 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. The title track and lead single, Sign of the Times, You Got the Look, and I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man, besides these three, If I Was Your Girlfriend, was also released as a single. A concert film of the same name was released to promote the album, and the album was a huge critical success and is certified platinum in the US. Following Prince's death of 2016, it re-entered the Billboard 200 at number 20. So, the album is one of the most critically acclaimed albums in popular music, widely being regarded as Prince's best album ahead of Purple Rain, and it was voted the best album of 1987 in the PASM Jop Critics Poll and was nominated for Album of the Year at the 30th Grammy Awards. Often hailed as a masterpiece, some critics have praised Sign of the Times as the best album of the '80s, and it is a frequent inclusion in list of the greatest albums of all time, and it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame of 2017, which was 9 years ago. Man, it's almost going to be 10 years. And this album is still incredible, and I will never stop bumping it. I'll guarantee y'all that. I will never stop bumping this classic. Never. So, anywho, as with many Prince's early 1980 albums, this album features an extensive use of the Lin LM1 drum machine on most songs. In addition, many songs on the album, such as If I Was Your Girlfriend, feature a minimal instrumentation use of the Fairlight CMI and a then state-of-the-art synthesizer, also containing a digital sampler. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Prince used the stock sounds of the Fairlight to create the title track. Four of the album's standout songs, Housequake, Strange Relationship, You Got the Look with Sheena Easton, and If I Was Your Girlfriend, used the pitch shifted vocals to create a higher voice ostensibly of the voice of Camille, Prince's alter ego of this era. Prince was well known for recording his vocals in the control room area of the studio. Typically, in the recording process, A vocalist records in the recording booth separated from the control room by a window or soundproof door to have privacy during the vocal recording process. Prince usually asked his engineer, Susan Rogers, to leave the room. Rogers recalls, we get the track halfway or three-quarters of the way there and then set him up with a microphone in the control room. He have certain tracks on the multi-track that he would use and he'd do the vocal completely alone. And I think that was the only way he could really get the performance. And some occasions he recorded vocals with his back to her, and Rogers monitored the vocals with a pair of headphones so Prince's recording microphone would not pick up the speakers. She would usually have used Prince typically use a Sennheiser 441 dynamic microphone recommended to him by Stevie Nicks for recording vocals at this stage in his career. And Susan Rogers also recalled that the speed of Prince's creative process, and saying that the song came out like a sneeze, one track after the next, rest is history. She also noticed that a problem with the sound desk, which had been newly installed during the recordings of the Ballad of Dorothy Parker, which resulted in the sound matching the underwater dream state of the song. Although Sign of the Times was regarded by some as less polished than his earlier efforts, one review said it sounded like outtakes, except nobody else outtakes would sound so strong. Rock so hard, swang so free, Prince pointed out that he and his record company spent more time and money on Sign of the Times than anything he had ever done, adding that much more work went into it. And rest is history. So he definitely so they described it by Rolling Stone as the most expansive R&B record of the 80s. The album encompasses a wide range of styles, and music critic Stephen Thomas Erlewine said that Prince utilizes a palette of genres, from bare bones, electro-funk, smooth soul to pseudo-psychedelic pop and crunching hard rock, and a little touching of the gospel, blues, and folk along the way. Prince was a genius, man. He really did a heck of a job on this record, too. Nobody could ever do anything like this in a lifetime. Prince was a workaholic. And more to it, regarding the themes of explored throughout the album, MTV News writer Hanif Abdurrahman said it functions as a political action, and that the politics are not those of solutions, but those of survival in the face that you which might not survive for much longer. And the politics of survival say that we may dance in the face of a coming apocalypse. We may, in the face of a coming apocalypse, go to bed with someone we love or someone we didn't know before the night started. We play in the streets or fantasize about a new world to run into on Sign of the Times. After laying out the terrifying landscape, Prince pushes the landscape aside and lays out all of our options for survival on a table and tells us to take our pick. And similar writer and Prince scholar Ben Greenman observes the spooky political R&B, full-throated psychedelic pop. There's more to that. Bone-rattling, skeletal, little funk and pocket soul, so gentle and nonce. You could almost call it folk. According to music journalist Turi, the album is Prince's foray into the soul more than anything else. And there's a guy named Nelson George. He had said that he points to both that carnality and spirituality being a common theme on Sign of the Times. Forever in My Life is noted by George as an example where Prince combines both sexuality and pidity. Hot Thing and it are described by George as aggressively sexual, but through the oddly pitched sounds. And the songs resonate with spiritual themes like human connection and transcendence. The title track and lead single Sign of the Times discusses gang violence and the crack cocaine epidemic. The cross stands on the album stands out on the album as a Christian rock song described as a raw and emotional as Prince preaches about Jesus. And the song is also noted for having a Eastern influence sound. And the rest is history. The cover in the album was shot by a photographer named Jeff Katz, who also served as Prince's photographer during the mid 80s and shot the covers of Prince's The Family album of 85 and Parade in 1986. And the shoot was held at a warehouse in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, close to where Paisley Park Studios was set up later. And yes, there was some remaster deluxe and super deluxe reissues. I would love to get a hold of those. I really do. Trust me, I really do. And the rest is history right here, y'all. Because he does have some unreleased songs on here. Like you got La La, He, Edit, and Shakadelica. That's a 12 long version. He's got a lot of remixes and other unreleased songs, including Colors, A Place in Heaven. That's a Prince vocal. Power, Fantastic, live in studio. Witness for the Prosecution. So many. And I'll show y'all the LP. There we go. Ooh, look how immaculate that is. Very beautiful. I love this record. I can't wait to bump it. This is definitely one of my favorite Prince records, and I look very forward to playing. There's another song, Can I Play With You? That's another unreleased with Miles Davis. What is your favorite song off this classic? Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and comment and follow your boy. I will be glad to return to y'all. God bless. Stay safe. Keep bumping this classic on your turntables because that's what I'm going to do too. Y'all already know. Peace, y'all.